One Christmas, we were both given presents. Angel unwrapped a shiny new tablet, while I received a pair of worn-out headphones and a few old books. I could tell from the look on Angel's face that she was thrilled, and as she hugged her new tablet, I tried to force a smile, even though my gift felt like a slap in the face.
Oh, Angel, you seem to like your gift. Come here and show us how it works, darling.
As they gathered around her to admire her gift, I stood off to the side, feeling like a spectator in my own home. It wasn't just material things either. When Angel had school events, my parents would be there, front and center, cheering her on. I remember one of my own school plays where I had a small role. I was so excited to finally get a chance to perform, but on the day of the play, my parents were nowhere to be found. Hi, my name's Debbie. I'm the eldest of my parents' 2 kids, and I have a younger sister, Angel, who's 3 years younger than me. Angel was beautiful and very smart in school. From early on, it was pretty obvious that Angel was the favorite. It felt like a rule of nature. She always got the fancier clothes, the flashier toys, and the bigger snacks. Whenever my parents made plans, Angel was always their first choice, leaving me on the sidelines. I remember a particularly painful instance when we were 16 and 13. My birthday had just passed a few days before Angel's, and it felt like the whole world was celebrating hers while mine was barely acknowledged. All I got was a terse, happy birthday from my parents, and it seemed like they had already moved on. They started making plans for Angel's birthday celebration, and I was there, sitting quietly in the living room, listening to their excited chatter.
I'm thinking of a small party for Angel with her friends to start the day. And then we can all head to the beach afterward. It'll be a perfect day. You'd love that, right, baby?
I tried to keep my feelings in check, but it was hard. My stomach twisted into knots as I heard them discuss the details of the beach trip. They never once mentioned that I would be going with them. And the more I listened, the more I felt like my heart was being squeezed. On the day of Angel's birthday, the house was buzzing with activity. Her friends arrived, and there was laughter and music as they celebrated. I watched from the sidelines, feeling increasingly invisible. When the party was over and her friends had left, my parents told me they were heading to the beach to continue the celebration.
Debbie, we're going to the beach now. Angel's really looking forward to it. Look at her. She's so excited. I feel so lucky to be her dad.
I tried to muster up the courage to speak. Can I come too? I'd really love to go. I'd been dying to have a family picture with them at the beach, but they never let me go with them, and it was making me sad. If they didn't know how badly I wanted to be there, it would have been different. But they knew. I'd always been vocal about it, so they knew. I was hoping they would finally agree, but my heart got shattered by my mom's words.
Sorry, Debbie. We already planned this for Angel's special day. Maybe next time.
As they walked out, Angel's excited chatter filled the air, and I felt a wave of loneliness wash over me. They left without a second glance, and I was left alone in the quiet house, feeling like a ghost in my own home. My heart ached as I imagined them enjoying the beach while I sat in silence, knowing this wasn't the first time I'd been left out. The sting of their favoritism was something I had grown used to, but that day, it felt especially sharp. It wasn't only the big things like the expensive clothes and lavish birthday parties. It was also the small, everyday things that cut the deepest. For instance, during school, Angel always had the newest gadgets and the latest fashion, while I was handed down some of my mom's old clothes and secondhand books she got from my cousins. When Angel flaunted her latest smartphone or a designer bag, I was still using my outdated stuff, and no one seemed to notice or care. One Christmas, we were both given presents. Angel unwrapped a shiny new tablet, while I received a pair of worn-out headphones and a few old books. I could tell from the look on Angel's face that she was thrilled, and as she hugged her new tablet, I tried to force a smile, even though my gift felt like a slap in the face.
Oh, Angel, you seem to like your gift. Come here and show us how it works, darling.
As they gathered around her to admire her gift, I stood off to the side, feeling like a spectator in my own home. It wasn't just material things either. When Angel had school events, my parents would be there, front and center, cheering her on. I remember one of my own school plays where I had a small role. I was so excited to finally get a chance to perform, but on the day of the play, my parents were nowhere to be found. When I got home, I was in tears. I was so angry about them missing it. Even as I was crying, they seemed so nonchalant. They didn't apologize until I began to yell at them.
Why are you getting so worked up over this little issue? You know how busy we are, Debbie. Quit being a child and under us.
I was taken aback by how he suddenly began yelling at me. My mom quickly stepped in and held him to calm him.
We'll make it up to you, Debbie.
But that making it up never came. In fact, after that day, they pretended to have forgotten about the whole issue. When it came to chores or responsibilities at home, Angel would often be spared from doing the less pleasant tasks. I'd be the one scrubbing the floors and washing dishes while Angel lounged on the couch, watching TV or playing games. If I complained, my dad would say, "You're the older sister. It's your job to set an example." The way they treated us on vacations was another clear sign. Whenever we went on family trips, Angel always got the best room or the best seat in the car. I was often stuck with the least comfortable arrangements just as long as Angel was happy. And then there were the times when my parents would make plans and deliberately leave me out. They'd discuss their weekend plans, and if I showed interest, they'd dismiss it with a quick, "Oh, it's just a family thing for Angel's benefit." I was always the odd one out, left behind while they enjoyed time together as a family. All of these little things added up, creating a constant reminder that no matter what I did or how well I behaved, I would never be able to measure up to the gold standard that was Angel. Favoritism was a part of my everyday life, and no matter how much I tried to blend into the background, the disparities never ceased to sting. Well, it continued that way as we grew up to become young ladies. I moved out of my parents' house right after my 25th birthday. 2 reasons. 1, I didn't want to face any more favoritism display. 2nd was I needed my privacy. I was dating Max, the son of the wealthiest businessman in the city. I'd met him after a meeting once, and we'd connected instantly. We were only friends for a few months before we began dating. Max was the best thing I'd ever had. He never made me feel unloved and spoiled me in every way possible. In fact, the house I'd moved into, he bought it for me as my birthday gift. According to him, he'd been wanting to do it, but never found the right opportunity until my birthday. I ensured it wasn't one-sided. In every way I could, I also made sure to be there for him. We both loved and appreciated each other. On the night of Max's 30th birthday, which was 4 months after my 27th birthday, he proposed to me. That was 2.5 years after we began dating. I was so happy and wasted no time in agreeing to marry him. 2 days after our engagement, he took me to his parents. To my surprise, they were both humble people, despite how wealthy they were. Contrary to stories I'd heard about how rich people were to people like me who weren't born rich, Max's parents were different. His dad kept showing praises to me for how beautiful and intelligent I was. As for his mom, she refused to let me out of her sight. In the days that followed, she would bring me along with her for shopping, send me flowers randomly, boast about me to her friends, and never failed to give me words of encouragement every time I had to attend a meeting. Her husband was the same. He would randomly call to check in on me, send me food from any new restaurant he tried, since we both had a thing for trying new places. They were both doing everything I wished my parents did instead. I got promoted a month after my engagement, and my company was hosting a party to celebrate all promoted workers. I'd invited my parents to come watch me, but they refused because they had to go somewhere more important with Angel. It turned out that the 3 of them went over to spend time with my grandparents and didn't take me along. I was so sad, but Max was there to make me feel good. On the day of the party, his parents showed up for me. His mother had even given a speech for me, showering praises and nice words on me. I was moved to tears as I imagined my mom doing that instead. After the party, I hugged the woman and thanked her nonstop. Max wanted us to get married after 2 months of being engaged, so I finally decided to take him to my family. They'd accepted him warmly, and I was excited. Unfortunately, the news I got 2 days later wasn't something I ever imagined. Max had come to me and revealed that my parents had called him over the previous day, only to tell him to break up with me and be with my younger sister instead. According to him, they'd said I wasn't fitting for him and spewed vile words about me to him. They told him Angel was better than me in every way, and encouraged him to break up with me and go for her. I was devastated, but he managed to help me calm down. Max noticed and assured me that he'd never leave me for my sister in any world. I became calm after. That same evening, I got a video group call from my parents.
When are you going to break up with Max?
You don't deserve a man like Max. He is good for your sister instead.
I was furious and just dropped the call. The last straw that broke the camel's back was when Angel tried to get me fired from work because she believed that Max was still with me because I had a job. She had come to our office and told lies to my boss, telling her how I was a thief and vile things. It didn't end up as she planned because not only was she sent out of the company, she also got hit by a car on her way home, and the accident landed her in the emergency ward at the hospital. After surgery, the doctor announced to us that Angel would never be able to walk on her own ever again. We were all sad, but my parents were obviously sadder. They wailed nonstop and kicked me away when I tried to comfort them. I got married to Max a month later, but my parents and Angel weren't in attendance, and that was because I refused to invite them. I'd come to know that my parents were in on Angel's plan to make me lose my job. That was the last straw that made me accept that I wasn't wanted by them, and immediately cut them off. After my wedding with Max, we moved away to our mansion and started a new life together. Well, 5 years later, my dad tried reaching out to me. Apparently, Angel was a liability to them because of her broken spine. My mom had also gotten severely sick, and my dad couldn't afford her treatments while taking care of Angel. Did you think I helped? Of course not. None of them deserved my kindness. I reminded him that I'd cut them off as family and was happier with my husband, in-laws, and 2 kids. Deal with your problems yourself. Or better still, ask your lovely daughter to assist you. Oops, I forgot she's crippled and useless now. I could hear my mom's crying voice in the background, and I immediately knew the call was on speakerphone, which made me happy. After taunting him enough and warning him to never try reaching out to me or my family, I ended the call and blocked his line. A year later, I heard that my mother had died from her illness. I never attended her funeral, and my dad was devastated. He was now stuck with the responsibility of taking care of my sister, barely surviving on his pension. He had to get a part-time job as a janitor at a nearby school. It's what they deserved, and I regret nothing. In fact, I'm quite happy at karma for helping me. I'd have made them suffer more. Nevertheless, karma did a great job. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below saying I subscribed, and we will try our best to reply to your comment.